So I am filming this video, obviously to talk to you. I have mentioned in my vlogs that I have been unwell recently, and that is the reason I've had to leave uni and I'm now back home. And I said that I was going to film a separate video explaining that. This is really hard for me to film because I really struggle to talk about this without getting upset and crying, but also because this is so hard for me to film, there is a chance that it won't actually go online. I'm not entirely sure I'm comfortable with putting that onto YouTube where people who I don't know personally will see this. Most of the people who know me well know why I've had to drop out of uni, at the moment just for the year, but possibly for longer. For the last couple of years I have been suffering with anxiety disorder and depression, and because of these I recently have become very ill, and it became too much of a struggle for me to continue with university and my studies and cope with getting better. And it's only been recently that it has got to the point where I haven't been able to live my life as I would like to. I started to have panic attacks earlier this year. Since I started having panic attacks, they have got worse and worse, to the point where one panic attack at the beginning of a day will ruin my day and I will be unable to do anything and just sit around having more panic attacks. Basically, over the last few weeks, they took control of my life. I wasn't doing anything. I was stuck in the house. I was barely managing to get out of bed in the morning, and I was not in a good place. And because of that, I got myself out of bed, got to the doctors and told them what was happening, and now I am on the path to getting better. It's not happening overnight, which I am really struggling with. I know probably there are so many people who suffer with this, and I know from my experience that because it isn't getting better overnight, it's making me feel like it's getting worse, because I'm expecting to be getting better and I'm just not. I have a couple of good days and I think, finally, it's starting to feel good now, this is good. And then I'll have a really bad day and that will throw me, and I'll have several bad days in a row because I think I was getting better and it's just gone and I'm not anymore. So that's really, really difficult to get my head around, that it's not happening overnight. It is a very long-term thing, and lots of people have this. So many more people than I thought and that you probably think have this, or something similar to this. I know that I think I'm alone a lot of the time. I think people don't care. They think I'm just being weird, or I'll be out and if I'm having a panic attack while I'm out, I think people are looking at me, they're all thinking I'm weird, I'm crazy. And they're probably just thinking, I hope that girl's alright, she looks quite upset. They're probably not thinking that I'm crazy or that I look a bit weird, they're probably just hoping I'm okay. But when I'm in panic mode or anxiety mode, I don't think that. I think everybody hates me, no one cares about me, and it's not a nice feeling. And that is slowly starting to go, I think. I'm having a few wobbles with that. Even when I eventually am having more good days than bad days, I will still have wobbles, and that I think will be hard for me at first because I'm really struggling now when I have one good day and the next day's a bad day to think, oh, I'm not getting better, when I am, because I'm having at least one good day a week, which a couple of weeks ago I couldn't see happening. For those of you who don't know what anxiety is, essentially, for me personally, it's different for many people. I have panic attacks and I get really anxious about doing normal everyday things. So take this morning for example, I was meant to be going to the shop to buy things to bake, but I got ready, got to the front door, and I just couldn't leave the house. I was just I was stood looking at the door, and I just couldn't bring myself to open it because I was so terrified of leaving the house on my own. And for me, a big part of my anxiety is I can't do something on my own. I can't leave the house on my own. I can't be on my own in a public place or on public transport or anything like that. I need to be with someone for, I think it's more comfort than anything, that I feel safe when I have someone with me. And I used to be able to go out on my own. I used to love going to the shop on my own, doing a bit of shopping, having a coffee, people watching. I used to love doing that. I used to really enjoy having a bit of me time on my own, people watching, doing stuff. And I can't do that anymore because I panic if I'm on my own in public, and I have lost something that I really enjoyed, and I'm trying to work myself up to that again by doing simple things on my own. But it's hard when at the moment, even going places with people, I am really anxious. Last night I went out with my friends to the hockey game, which you will have seen in my vlog, and even doing that with people that I know about what's happening, and they know how to help, they know what I need when I panic, I still felt really anxious. And I spent a good half hour when we first left my flat feeling like I was going to start panicking and being on the verge of a breakdown, which isn't fun for me because it takes away from what I'm doing, and I find it hard to enjoy what I'm doing if I'm feeling panicky. And because I feel panicky and I can't enjoy what I'm doing, that makes me feel guilty for not enjoying what I'm trying to do, which makes the panic worse, and I get more anxious and work myself up to a panic attack, and then I feel horrendous for ruining other people's day by having a panic attack and dragging them to wherever the nearest exit from wherever we are is. And that makes me feel worse, so I started avoiding doing things. But now I'm trying not to avoid doing things. I think if you are suffering from anxiety, the important thing is to not avoid things, because that makes it worse. If you start avoiding things, then going out after you've avoided it once, it makes it harder and you feel more anxious and more panicky about it. And that's what I've done, and I've worked myself up to a point where I just refuse to do anything on my own because I've convinced myself that I will panic every time. It's okay to panic, and I think I need to remember that. The main reason I've done this video, I'm not sure whether I will actually put it online, but the main reason I filmed this is because a YouTuber that I follow, Zoella, has filmed 2 videos on anxiety and panic attacks, and for me personally they really helped because she's done so much despite having the anxiety. She's done so much and she still has wobbles and still struggles with it, and that's helped me see that it's okay to struggle, it's okay to not get better straight away, and it's shown me that I can still do something with my life, even though at the moment I feel like all I can do is stay in my flat hiding from the world, which I don't want to do because I quite enjoy going out and seeing people. So that's the main reason I filmed this video, is because her video helped me, and hopefully this might help someone. I will put the links to her 2 videos in the description box because she explains anxiety and how to help people with anxiety a lot better than I have. For me, until I started to see this as an illness and not a part of me, I was letting it take control of me and letting it affect me a lot more than it should have done. So instead of seeing it as me, I just have an illness, it's something that's affecting me and making me ill. It's not a part of me. It's not something that I have in me that's making me do this. It's an illness that can happen to anyone, no matter their age or their situation, anything. It can happen to anyone, and it just so happens that it's picked me. If any of you watching this think you're going through the same thing, or you're having panic attacks, or you're starting to get anxious or anything like that, I am more than happy to answer questions or talk to you or anything, because I've had a really good support network from people who have had this. People who haven't as well have been amazing. I've been really lucky that my friends have been so amazing, but I have had a couple of friends in particular who have gone through similar situations, and they have helped immensely, because having someone who knows how it feels to feel like this helps so much. I can be sat feeling absolutely fine, like now I can be sat on my own doing something I enjoy, feeling very relaxed, and suddenly have an attack, and that there's no reasoning behind that. And sometimes there is an obvious explanation, like if I'm out on my own it's that, but I don't know why being out on my own does make me anxious or panicky. So it's hard to explain to people who haven't had it, because there is very little logical reasoning behind it, and I think that's the hardest thing to come to terms with when you first start with it. Me personally, I've begun to just accept that. I've accepted that this is affecting me, and it hasn't changed who I am. I'm still me. I just don't feel like me at the moment, because I can't do things that I enjoy normally and enjoy them like I used to, because I feel anxious a lot of the time. If you are with someone and they are having a panic attack or they are feeling anxious, just do what they want you to do. Everyone is different in this situation. I know me personally, I like to have someone with me. I feel safer when I am with someone. I personally, this is just what helps me. It might be different for people you know or you yourself, but this is what helps me. I like to have water to drink, purely because by drinking that, when I drink the water, I have to force myself to breathe normally, or better than I would be when I'm having an attack, because when you're drinking you obviously can't be hyperventilating, because that really wouldn't end well. So I tend to find having a bottle of water or a glass of water with me really helps, because I can breathe properly. Getting out of the situation I am in, if I start to feel panicky or I'm having an attack, getting out of the situation that I am in at that point, I find really helps me to calm down, or calm down quicker and feel safer. And usually that means walking out of a room, or leaving the building, or getting off the train or the bus at the stop you don't need to, or whatever. For me, I just need to get out of that situation and find somewhere to sit down, preferably outside, even if it's absolutely chucking it down or freezing. Being outside helps me, because I don't know if it's the fresh air or not being enclosed by walls or a car or train. Just feeling outside, I feel more free, I think, and that helps me. Just being with someone. A lot of the time I have a panic attack, and because I've had a panic attack I get a bit teary and cry, or shaking, or I'm quite an emotional person anyway, but after I've had a panic attack I tend to be crying. I find it helps so much to have someone with me, just to talk to me, distract me. A lot of the times when I've had an attack, and the times I've calmed down quickest, is when I've been with someone who's talked about something completely different, just ignored the fact that I'm having a panic attack and just talked to me, and I don't even remember what they talked about, but it helped because I wasn't thinking about the panic, I was thinking about what she was saying, and that helps me a lot. So if you're with someone having a panic attack, just do what they ask you to do, basically, within reason. Just help them as much as you can, and if they ask you for something, try and be able to do it or get it or whatever. I think that is all I wanted to say. As I've said, I'll put the link to Zoella's videos because they really helped me. I hope if you have watched this video and you have anxiety or think you might be starting to, I've helped you somehow. I don't know how, giving you ways to calm down, or if you know someone with anxiety, or if you know me and don't know how to help me, now you do. You know how to help someone calm down or make them feel safer if they are in that situation. And hopefully Zoella's videos will help as well if you watch them, or if you have already watched them, they've already helped you. Let me know if you want me to talk about this more. I will do. I don't think I've been particularly very good at talking about this, but if you want me to talk about this more, let me know in the comments. And if you think you're going through this or know someone who is going through this, feel free to get in touch with me. My Twitter is in somewhere, I'll put the link below. Feel free to talk to me, because I found it easier talking to someone who knows what it's like, who knows what it's like to feel like this and to have panic attacks, because it is hard to explain to people who haven't, and it does help to talk to someone who's had it, gone through it and come out the other side. And I've not quite come out the other side yet, but I am getting there, and I'm optimistic that I'll get there. So thank you. I hope this video has been interesting or helpful or something. So yeah, that is me and anxiety. Bye!